Purdue's full non-conference schedule has been released, and I think it was Norlander yesterday. Shout out to Matt Norlander, the source of this tweet. I
Cool.
believe he noticed that they are the first school that has officially put out its non-conference schedule publicly. So let's go through the schedule. It's a pretty great schedule, but I have some thoughts. Purdue is going to open with Kentucky in the exhibition in Lexington. Then they have another exhibition at home against Indy. Who cares? Real games start at home in Mackey Arena against Evansville and Oakland. We love Oakland playing big teams. Alabama in Tuscaloosa. Akron back at home. You got that Baja Mar tournament in the Bahamas over Feast Week. Eastern Illinois back at home, and then it gets interesting. You got Iowa State and Marquette back to back in Mackey Arena, all in the same week, by the way. That's like an awesome two-game stretch. Then you got Auburn in a neutral in Indianapolis, and then Kent State at home. Maybe I shouldn't have said neutral for the Auburn game. You get it. It's not in Mackey Arena, but it should be a great environment for Purdue fans. That's the full non-con schedule. Some big names: Alabama, Iowa State, Marquette, and Auburn. Also, a lot of big marquee games at home and in the state. And I don't know. This is kind of a dream non-con schedule to me. What do you make of this Purdue schedule?
Yeah, so this one is I think I think we've been doing this a good amount of time, G. We've reached a point where we expect Purdue to just challenge themselves in the non-conference, right? Like this is what they have been doing the past couple years. They're doing that again this year. But I also like that it is so to me it's still strategic in the way they schedule the non-conference because even in that stretch, where you look at Iowa State, Marquette and Auburn. And I know there's a pretty big gap between those games, so I'm assuming that little gap in December they're going to play some Big Ten games or something like that in that little in between there. But for them to be able to challenge themselves with Iowa State, Marquette at home, and then Auburn on the hashtag neutral. I think they kind of set it up perfectly as well. So good mix of challenging themselves, good mix of playing at home while also having that opportunity to even though it's an exhibition, you're gonna go play in Rupp, right? And then you're gonna go travel to Tuscaloosa to play Alabama, a really really tough place to play and win. So I think a very very challenging schedule while also mixing in the fact that they're not like killing themselves because they could have did something like one of those games is at Iowa State and then you're going to play like at a Big Ten school somewhere in that mix and then that kind of throws off your schedule a little bit but I think it's really well put together.
Yeah, it's a dream schedule in a variety of ways. Let me elaborate on what I mean. Cart, how many non-conference games did Purdue lose from 2022 to 2024?
Who?
Zero.
Oh,
How many non-conference games did they lose last year?
oh, I thought last year was part of the
No,
2020.
2025 was last season technically.
My apologies.
Yeah.
They lost what, four?
They lost three last year. Uh, there's nothing wrong with losing three non-conference games, but Purdue fans know how last season went versus how the previous three went. You'd rather be the previous three. Now, you believe your team next season is the caliber of the previous three, most importantly. So it doesn't even matter. You could line up one of the best schedules we've ever seen. And I think Purdue fans and everyone involved in the program would feel like they could run through the non conference schedule this upcoming season. By the way, that's what happened in 2024. I don't mean to take shots at previous schedules here. In 2024, they went to Maui. It was the most loaded field ever. They came home. They had Alabama on a neutral. They had Arizona in, I think, Gamebridge that year. It was probably the hardest schedule in the country, and they ran through it and went undefeated. So we've seen Purdue do very special things in the non-conference. My point is this: get ready to run the table again, folks. This is the number one team in the country on paper, scheduling like they want to go undefeated. And there's a little bit of luck involved in it because I think Matt Painter, when he booked these games, or when anybody involved booked these games, it appeared on paper, on brand name alone, to be like the toughest schedule in the country. Alabama, Auburn, Iowa State, Marquette, all top 10 teams last season. Obviously, the Kentucky exhibition is great, doesn't fully count, but it's great. Guess what? None of those teams are top 10 teams next season. Time is running out.
On what?
Hurry!
What?
Our deal with Underdog Fantasy is supposed to end next week, and we need your help if you're a listener of this show. We need Underdog Fantasy to extend us so we can pay our talent and keep the lights on. And we need more people to sign up for Underdog Fantasy in order to get that extension. Help us out right now. The offer that we have, promo code Sleepers, that we've been telling you about on every single video, that runs through the end of next week. You can get up to $1,000 in bonus credits and a free pick as a first-time user. Deposit however much money you want. Put in promo code Sleepers. Even if it's a small amount, it really helps us take advantage of that before this week ends so that we can try and get an extension. And it's game 2 of the Celtics tonight, and the free pick tonight is Jason Tatum to score 1 or more points. That's going to happen. Jason Tatum's probably going to go for 40, to be honest, as the Celtics even things up with the Knicks. You can guarantee yourself a win with Underdog Fantasy, but sign up with promo code Sleepers. Help us out. Let Underdog help you out. Get your free funds and support the show. Back to the video. Maybe somebody could surprise you, but Alabama's sizably down based on what they've done in the offseason from what they've been. Iowa State loses some key pieces, didn't really add anything overly notable. Marquette's way down, and Auburn is going to go from the number 1 team in the sport to like the 20th best team in the sport. And
Relax.
most of these games are in Mackey Arena. And then you got the Baja Mar, which is a fun event. Right now, the 3 teams in the field are Purdue, Wake Forest, shout out Miles Colvin, and then Memphis. And we're waiting on a 4th team. Those teams, all coincidentally outside of Purdue, also not in the top 10 in the country. Cart, this is like a big time schedule on paper and name recognition. And if you go line by line through these games, Purdue's going to be a 9-point favorite or more in all of them.
Let's relax. Let's
What
relax.
game? What game are they not favored by 9 or more in here?
They're
That
not favored.
exhibition doesn't count.
They're not favored by 9 or more against Bama. I don't care. Still Bama at home. They're
In
not favored.
Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, in Tuscaloosa. And then,
Okay.
um, can I take a flyer on Auburn?
I think they're going to be favored by that much against Auburn by then. By end of December.
What if Pettifer's back?
We'll see. A lot of moving parts with Auburn.
A lot of move. I don't know. I'm higher on Auburn than a lot of people this year, even if they don't get Pettifer back. But to your point, it does have a little bit of like name value. Then you like really look into it, and you're like, well, yeah, Marquette's not going to be that great this year. I don't think. Or these teams are going to be down from what they were in the previous year. While on the other side of the coin here, Purdue is going to be the number 1 team in the country.
And to be clear, it's my dream schedule. This is literally what I wish my team's schedule could be every single year. You want the public perception of it to be like this massive gauntlet, when in reality, it's just like you're not playing that many great teams. You might be playing some good teams. But when you are a great team and you can line up a bunch of good teams, largely in your home state, it sets up as the perfect schedule. I'm really impressed with how this has come together. I think it's the perfect schedule for them. You're right. Alabama, they're not going to be 9-point favorites on the road against Alabama, unless Alabama's as bad as I think they might be. I mean, right, their best player right now is Aiden Holloway.
Yeah, no, November 13th though, they'll be the probably it's early on still.
Their best player is Aiden Holloway.
Ain't always good.
Aiden Holloway wouldn't start at Purdue.
Stop.
He wouldn't. You
You're
you
right.
know he wouldn't.
I actually know he would.
He would play the CJ Cox role on this Purdue team.
That's so disrespectful.
I'm being honest.
It's okay. I'm preparing myself for this. This is good practice.
For what, the full season?
Yeah, this is gonna be something.
For me being fully aboard the Purdue bandwagon and you
Yeah, which you
fighting and
which
pretending you are.
which you should be, which you absolutely should be. But
Damn.
I just want to leave out you know what I'm saying, the extras, the sidecars of the bandwagon. You know what I'm saying? Like yesterday, it was, oh, why would we take Fletcher Loyer over Josh Dix? And now today it's Aiden Holloway as CJ Cox.
I think there's many teams in the sport that care about winning that would take Fletcher Loyer over Josh Dix.
Can we
That's
ask
not a,
them?
that's not a crazy take.
I think it is.
Okay, how do we decipher this? We need like a
We don't.
judicial system.
We don't.
Aiden Holloway, man. Aiden Holloway.
Look, honestly, in retrospect here, I'm fine with you saying he wouldn't start. Can I stop you short of he's CJ Cox?
No, he played the CJ Cox role.
What's that?
First guard off the bench.
So he'll be
Only care about shooty shooty. Ooh, step backs. Ooh. Real quick, while you're dissing Fletcher Lawyer, by the way, 13 point.
I'm not dissing
Let's
Fletcher.
just do a quick comp. Fletcher Lawyer, 13.8 points a game last year, 2 rebounds, 2 assists a game, 47% from the floor, 44% from three. Do I have those numbers right?
Are you reading them right from his page?
Yeah. I just want to
Yeah.
make sure you heard them, though. 14 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 47% from the floor, 44% from three. That's
Yeah.
Fletcher. Now, can we do Aiden Holloway?
Yeah, sure.
11.4 points a game, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 46% from the floor, 41% from three.
Off the bench.
So he was a slightly worse Fletcher. Oh, Aiden Holloway, Alabama's best player for next year, came off the bench last year? Why? If he's so good, why?
Because they had Mark Sears
And Latrell
and
Wrightsell?
no, and LeBaron Philon.
And Latrell Wrightsell.
Can you do since we're doing that whole like stat read off thing, why don't you do Josh Dix?
This isn't a Josh Dix combo. He's not on
Okay,
the
yeah,
Purdue schedule.
understood. Because you wouldn't want to do that.
He's not on the Purdue schedule, is he?
You just wouldn't want to do that.
What do you think Fletcher Lawyer's numbers would look like in Fran McCaffrey's offense as the number one option?
It wouldn't look that great.
You don't think so?
No.
Maybe.
One of the best decisions that's ever been made in college basketball history is for Fletcher Lawyer to go to Purdue.
Well, yeah. One of the best decisions every player in college basketball history has made is going to Purdue if they go to Purdue. It's a good
Yeah,
decision.
it is good for most, you know.
And it's a bad decision to schedule Purdue if you're any of these other teams, honestly.
No, I mean, you want to challenge yourself. If you want to play, if you want to challenge yourself, play the number one team.
Yeah, I wouldn't go to Mackey. I'm looking at Otts and Shaka Smart on this one. I wouldn't go to Mackey.
Can I say why they maybe have no issue going there?
Why?
Because I watched Jake Diebler go in there and win. I watched Greg Gard go in there and win.
So this is gonna be the thing all year then. You're gonna be like real disrespectful, petty to Purdue, and I'm gonna be like, this team rocks, everything's great.
They do rock. They're not just this unbeatable juggernaut.
Okay. How many
Yeah.
losses do they have in this schedule?
Um,
Should be an immediate zero.
they'll lose two.
Two?
Yeah.
Purdue fans, I'm sorry. I don't know if he's doing a bid or what. I'm gonna ask him after we end this recording. But this is crazy. What two?
I think Bama, and then I think one of the three, probably Auburn.
Okay. They're not losing to Mackey to Marquette.
No, well, I mean, you never know.
You know.
I'm not picking them. I'm saying I would pick Bama and I pick Auburn.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Can I get an SEC chant from you?
No.